Yo guys, welcome to Yooniverse Uncut. Today it's gonna be a quick one because I don't really have a lot of quotes I want to bring with me. I don't have a daily quote. Sorry guys, okay? I'm running behind on a lot of things, okay? Running behind on a lot of things. And when I say a lot of things, I mean a lot of things. I haven't made a video for Sunday, so I don't really have anything that I can speak about. Don't really have anything to reflect on. I have one thing actually, I was on a cabin trip with my boys. Might post an Instagram story or a video about it or Insta post. I don't know. I mean, I do have the draft ready, but I just don't know if I wanna do it. Hold on, let me just show it to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Cause like you guys are part of my family. You know what I'm saying? You guys gotta know everything. But anyway, here's the post. You know what I'm saying? This is the first pic we posted, and then we got the second one, which is like me and my homeboy. And then we got another one, which is like the stars and, me watching sunrise happening. We got this one with me and my dog. We got this one, which is like a video of me actually doing slalom. And then we got a video of me or picture of me smiling. And then we got a picture of a gas station, which is quite famous in Norway for selling some kind of dough bread. And this is my homeboy. And this is the cabin we were staying at. And this is the book we had to write on that was in the cabin before we left as like a thank you message. I can actually speak a little bit about the cabin trip. It was nice, it was cozy, it was a good time to get away from everything. I didn't really have a video planned out. I was like, you know what, I can take maybe a week off, and then when I come back and come back stronger, make a rewind documentary, make this video that'll make every Wednesday. I'll have things ready. But, having work also from 2 to 8 kind of kills a lot of time. It takes a lot of time because it's in the middle of the day. Like, I really prefer to either work from, like, almost late at night. No, not late at night, but, like, from, like, 4 to 9 or 10. Or I want to work very early and early. I can do that, then the rest of my day is free. And, I just feel like there was so many things that went kind of left on that cabin trip. Friends kind of argued. I don't know if there will be another cabin trip happening. We did agree that it will be a yearly thing, but now they've come home and, reflected on it. I don't know if it will happen. People fought, people argued. It was only me and 2 other people that did slalom, and we were supposed to be 8 of us who was going to do it. I don't know. I mean, on social media, it looks like all my boys did something and it was fun. But in reality, it was actually people were antisocial. People were in their homes or in their rooms. And I think one of the problems was that the cabin was too nice. The rooms were too good. So people just preferred to stay in them because it was just too cozy to leave your bed. The beds were so nice and all the rooms were comfy. The beds were quite huge as well. So yeah, maybe that's why. I should have maybe fixed a room that was actually a little bit bad. But I don't know, man. I've had time to think and reflect on it. And one thing I did realize or learn, even though it's not a quote, maybe it's a quote for myself, is that, in this world, we don't really matter. It really don't matter. I was watching the sunrise, right? I was watching the sunrise and I was thinking about how, right now in this world there's, or no, that's wrong. Right now on the other side of the world there's people that are sleeping or preparing to sleep where the night has come and it's getting late and people are sleeping. And those are some of those people I would never meet in my life. A lot of people I will never meet in my life that are currently living the same time that I am living. Something that kind of like it's mind-boggling. I've thought about it a lot. I really think about it, especially when I'm on a plane and we are passing by a city that I will probably never visit. We are passing by a country that I will never really visit or go to. And there's people from that city or country that I will probably never meet in my life. And those small things makes me think about how life is. We don't really matter at the greater schemes of things, right? We don't really matter. We are just another person living on this earth, doing things that they believe is important, whether it's religion, practicing your religion, whether it's working, whether it's training, taking care of your body. At the end of the day, we all die, right? We all die. We all have there's one thing that is promised to all of us that is guaranteed we will all experience, right? Technically, I would say there's two things that we are all going to experience and is guaranteed to us, which is being born and being dead. Death and birth are the only things in this world that is guaranteed to you. Anything else is not. And of course, probably breathing as well. But there's not that many things that is guaranteed in this world. Walking, not a lot of people have that. Seeing, not a lot of people have that. Hearing, not a lot of people have that. Feeling stuff, not a lot of people have that. People can be born paralyzed. There's so many things that we take for granted. But there's one thing in this world we never really, I don't know how to say this. My brain is I have a brain fog right now. But the point is that life, we don't need to take life too seriously, right? It's something I've been thinking very much about. We don't have to take life too seriously. And this is because we don't really matter. And another thing I also think about sometimes, right, is the people that used to live, for instance, 2, 3, 4, 500 years ago. People who lived 1,000 years ago could never even imagine that we would have cars, we would have a phone, we would have a phone calling people. No one would matter. No one would even think of that. You know what I'm saying? In their wildest dreams, I can call someone from here and have a conversation. I can see someone on my phone who lives on the other side of the world. No one would ever think of that. 1,000 years ago, it was around 1025. People didn't really discover the entire world. It wasn't officially discovered. And it's not that long ago when you think about it. 1,000 years ago is not that long. It's 100 years. It's 10 generations. Wait, is it 10 generations? It's like almost 10 generations. Almost. If we all live to around 100, it's almost 10 generations. Imagine that. My great, my dad, my granddad, my great-granddad, my great-great-great-granddad, great. I have to just go great 10 times, right? And I'm back to year 1025. And when I think of it that way, it's not that much. We humans have not been here for that long. I only have to go 20 generations back. And that's around the same time as Jesus was around here. 10 generations ago, Muhammad was around here. He was living amongst us. It's so crazy to think about it. And a lot of people didn't really know Muhammad existed in 10 generations ago. And 20 generations ago, a lot of people didn't know Jesus existed. And if you go another 10 more generations, so we're speaking about 30 generations, Buddha was around then, And, we always say, the end is here, the end of time is here, or it's near. And I really think about it. And we humans have not really been on Earth for that many years compared to, how long the Earth has been around, right? If I'm being realistic, I think the world is going to probably end 10 more generations after us. So maybe 1,000 years after us, probably. That's something I would think, most likely. By the year 3000, it's over. But, it's so crazy. 10 generations ago, it was year 1025, and most people didn't even know some of the world, parts of the world existed. A lot of people believed the earth was still flat. A lot of people didn't even know that, for instance, people who lived in Africa didn't know Europe was a place. I mean, some of them probably did, but a lot of them, someone from South Africa probably didn't know that a place like Norway was even a thing. you know? Those kind of thoughts is something I always have. And I would really love to have someone on and have a conversation with them about those little small intricate things. I would also love to speak about religion as a person who actually has a faith, who, believes in something. I had a conversation with one of my friends and I said that no matter no matter what faith you are, if you're born in that specific culture or in specific region, you'll probably end up living and dying as as that faith, because you believe that your faith is the right one, no matter how many more other faiths there are there, and even though they have more legitimacy, you have stronger faith in your own religion, which makes you believe that this is the right one. And I always think about it because, for instance, I'm a Muslim, right? And we believe that people who didn't really receive Islam, the information about Islam fully, we believe that they don't go automatically to the hellfire, right? They have a chance in the afterlife. And I was thinking about it and I was like, how much information is enough for a person to be deemed as a person who has now received enough information about Islam? And when I told my friend about it, he said, that's a very good question, because everything, it's available everywhere. And I said, it's a little bit unfair to put someone or punish them for only learning about it in school, for instance, or hearing bits and bobs about Islam, or they do Ramadan and they have Eid here and there, and their prophet is Muhammad. And those small things, I don't know, man. I think about those stuff and I'm like, I have a friend of mine. She's very, very, very Christian, like Orthodox Christian, Orthodox. Yeah, I think it's Orthodox Christian. I really, really appreciate how strong her faith is. I would say I envy it because it's on the same level, I guess, as me. I've never really seen any Christians that practice their faith to the extent that the people from her country do. And when I look at her, and I look at her people and the way they practice their faith, I wonder, would they ever really change religions? If you actually did tell them everything about, if I told her, for instance, everything Islam has to offer, and I tried to, show her the light, would she ever change? Because in her eyes, what I am saying is probably false. Just like if she was trying her best to convince me, I wouldn't believe a lick of what she's saying. Those kind of things makes me think and wonder about religion, and I want to really have a great conversation with a religion expert or a Muslim Muslim, another Muslim who actually knows their deen and practiced it and studied Islam. I would love to have a conversation with a Christian priest, because religions are very interesting, and I don't think I'll ever convert to another religion because I love my own. So I don't think if I have a priest on, he will try and convert me. I'd just love to have a dialogue with him and see what his thoughts are. Maybe I can convert him. I'm trying to convert everyone who is watching this video. No, but yeah. But yeah, life is too short to be serious, I think, is the message of this video. Thinking about how little we live and how long people have lived. It's so crazy to me. It's just 10 generations in total. If we are saying 10 generations, right? It's not 10 generations exact, because based on, if people are probably gonna make me look dumb here and be like, actually, it's more likely to be 20 in 1,000 years compared to 10 due to how long people used to live back in the day. The average human lifespan was 50 years old, which will mean that there will be 2 generations in 100 years or in a millennium. Bro, that's not what I'm speaking of. I'm speaking about the totality, the in generalness, right? Most people right now live to 80. Of course, people back in the day used to live to 60, 50. But if you are actually a proper historian, you would know that people who lived past the age of 30 tend to live way longer, and they tend to live a longer life and great life. And the reason there was a short lifespan, right, on average, is because of the amount of child death that was also happening, which kind of like reduced the expected life expectancy, I guess you could say. All right, so yeah, that's another fun fact I can give you guys. But I think life is just too short to be, serious. And I also think about how there's so many people, right, who died meaninglessly for wars that didn't really mean much 100 years after it happened. For instance, I think about some random wars that probably happened. I can't even say one. But for instance, let's just say, since I'm a Somali, right? Let's just say there's a war, tribal war, right? Let's use an example. Tribal wars that used to happen 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, right? Tribal wars that used to happen between 2, 3 different clans. It's the same people, but they have something against each other because they're from different clans, right? And they're going to war at each other, killing each other. 1,000 years later, no one really cares. People are living in harmony. What did those people die for? You know? They think they died for something that was much more greater than them. But 1,000 years later, what they believed was greater than them does not mean much anymore. And I think about it and I'm like, raw, that's so peak. Imagine you die for something. You die on the battlefield for something you think is greater for you. It's greater for you. It's for the greater good. But in reality, it did not have any significance at all. Your death did not have any significance. Oh, I can't be. Oh my God, I'm gonna go crazy speaking to this camera on my own, man. Oh my God, you guys are just seeing me go crazy, and no one is commenting. No one is asking me if I'm alright. I don't even know if I want to make this video, if I want to put this video out. If I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I think I will. I love having conversations, and normally there's like, let's say 40 people watch this video, right? If 40 people watch this video, I know there's probably one person that actually watched it fully, and they are seeing me have all these different types of breakdowns, while the rest of 39 other people did not watch it. And to be honest, this is just a thing I'm trying to do for routine's sake, having a routine, speaking, trying to learn how to speak also. Language is very important, and it's trying to learn how to speak more eloquently, I guess, in English, since English is not my first language. So this is like a way to practice, as well as not using any filler words is something I also have in the back of my mind. Taking full stops, or making full stops, I guess you could say, when I'm speaking, so that I don't have any filler words and actually sound proper, And I should stop. There's something I've also noticed I say on my videos a lot. That is I use the word, a lot. I have to stop that because I always say, after I say something. So yeah, I will stop with that. But guys, it is 18 minutes now, so I think I will be leaving. Thank you guys for another wonderful time with me. I really appreciate you guys being with me. For like the 1 or 2 people that actually watch fully, I appreciate you, man. I can't wait to make this rewind video. I was gonna make another video, but I think I'm gonna save it for maybe next year. When I don't know, maybe next week. Yeah, maybe next week. I don't know, because I want the rewind to come out Sunday, either next Sunday or Tuesday this week or Wednesday this week. No, next week. Not Tuesday this week, but Tuesday next week, Wednesday next week, or this week. Either wouldn't be that bad. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. And yeah, you don't need to subscribe, but if you want to subscribe, subscribe. Yeah, peace. Bye.